Hi everyone, and thanks for joining today's webinar. My name is Eric, and I'm the head of AI innovation at TrendWatching. I did take a quick look at the signups before joining, and it looks like we have people dialing in from all over the globe, from Brazil to London to Thailand and beyond. So do let us know where you're joining us from in the comments. Speaking of the comments, my colleagues are floating around there in the chat to answer any questions that you might have throughout this webinar. So please go ahead and ask them anything that you would like to know. So last September, we hosted a webinar to explore how innovators were already using AI in meaningful ways. And even then, we saw people doing remarkable things, some even running entire projects in partnership with AI. This meme, for example, was shared by my colleague Liv back then, and it captured that moment perfectly. But we're now 6 months later. Where do we stand? So just a couple of weeks ago, GPT launched one of the most powerful AI image generators we've seen so far, making it incredibly easy for anyone to create virtually any kind of image, from marketeers reinventing their ad campaigns to the viral trend of reimagining any image in the style of Studio Ghibli, the legendary Japanese animation studio. That, of course, sparked conversations around ethics and copyright, especially given that Studio Ghibli's co-founder, Hayao Miyazaki, has publicly voiced strong opposition to AI-generated animation. But, of course, image generation has been around for years at this point. So beyond creating imagery, new tools now also empower consumers not just to generate imagery, but software of their own. Meet vibe coding. If you've done any type of AI research in the last 2 months, you will have come across it. It's a term that was coined by Andrej Karpathy, one of the founding members of OpenAI. So instead of carefully writing every line of code, people are now just describing what they want, letting the AI generate it and adjusting until it works. And that's why it's called vibe coding. You follow the flow, and surprisingly, a lot of the time, it just works. And this has major implications for coding in general, as you no longer need to be a computer scientist like Andrej to get an app to work. So this is an example of what Andrej vibe coded. With about an hour of vibe coding, Andrej built a battleship game wired up so that you see two LLMs of your choice fighting each other in real time. Now, this is quite niche, and it might be more exciting to watch paint dry, if I'm being fully honest, but you can see the potential here. What if, when consumers want to play a game, they can just create it themselves in under an hour? And he also built this one in under an hour. So it's a custom LLM reader app that allows you to ask questions about any paragraph of a book you are reading. So when you click on a paragraph and ask, it calls an LLM, it generates context of what this is, it copy-pastes the full chapter, the paragraph, and then the question. So not everyone is, of course, a computer scientist. So not everyone will be able to replicate this in under an hour, but the direction of travel is clear. If a tool, a game, or a piece of software you're looking for doesn't exist yet, vibe coding might just enable you to create it yourself. Just ask an LLM how and feel the vibes. And this is all set to be taken to the next level, with new launches from the LLMs we know focusing on deep reasoning, each pushing the boundaries of how AI can understand, interpret, and assist in more complex and nuanced tasks. So even though you still need to be tech savvy to create your own game or app at present, this might not be the case anymore by the time 2026 hits, or even sooner. And beyond consumers using AI in new ways, brands are doing the same, if not more. Just in these last few weeks, Apple announced it's preparing its biggest healthcare push yet with a revamped health app and an AI-powered doctor service. So the health app, which is set to launch in spring of next year, will continue to collect data from a user's Apple device, and then the AI coach will use that information to offer tailor-made recommendations about ways to improve a person's health. And meanwhile, Alexa Plus just entered early access, bringing a more proactive conversational AI into people's homes. With the Plus version, users are now able to order an Uber, identify objects in the house, which could be deemed a little bit creepy, draft emails, and search for particular products online. Which brings me to the first of two polls. So you answered a similar question when my colleague Liv hosted the previous AI webinar. So I am curious to see where things have been heading since then. So we've learned that AI is reshaping industries from creative work and gaming to healthcare. But where do you see yourself in the shift towards AI integration? Do you see yourself leading the change? So are you building or integrating AI deeply into the projects you're working on already? Are you actively experimenting? So are you testing tools and refining use cases? Or are you cautiously observing? So you're interested, but you're not really yet applying AI yet. Or are you, and will you remain, a skeptic? Are you unsure of how it fits into your current work? Now, my colleague is sharing the poll in the chat in just a second. I'm just going to give her a few moments to do that, and then we will move on. All right, make sure to leave us your answer. So after that short intro about the current state of AI, let's go over today's agenda. First, we'll discuss how AI is powering trend-driven innovation. Then we'll touch on the differences between AI-powered and AI-driven innovation. We'll explain how you can use AI to supercharge your innovation process. And I will do a demo of version 2 of our revamped Product Lab Ideation tool. So let's dive in. To state the obvious, in most businesses, AI isn't optional. It really is a must. Whether you're in strategy, design, marketing, R&D, or operations, AI is really reshaping the expectations, the pace, the potential of every innovation workflow. So the real question isn't if you should bring into your AI and innovation pipeline, it's how to do it in a way that's aligned with your goals, your values, and your competitive edge. Well, you've heard us say that trends are just the tip of the iceberg, that only really bring something valuable if you act on them. Well, the funny thing is that this also applies to AI. You can read and inform yourself as much as you want, but the magic really happens once you start using it yourself. And the good news is that AI is making it easier and faster than ever to do exactly that, to not just innovate, but also to tap into trends. And our tool does that as well, and I'll shed a light on that further down this presentation. So let's take a look at some brands that are like this penguin, ready to jump off the iceberg and dive into what's underneath. And let's start with H&M. So they are planning to develop digital twins of 30 fashion models this year, addressing the tension between AI innovation and worker rights in the fashion industry. So the Swedish clothing giant is collaborating directly with the models and their agencies to create AI replicas that can be used across social media and marketing campaigns. But unlike typical AI-generated content, these digital clones will remain under the ownership of the actual models, who can then license them to any brand, also including H&M competitors, for compensation comparable to traditional shoots. This is, of course, good in a way for the models, but not so much for everyone involved with the photo shoot, for instance. H&M stated that it would roll out the campaign as a test first to gauge public perception. And then there's the American grocery delivery app Instacart, who introduced Smart Shop, which is an AI-powered tool that offers personalized grocery recommendations by analyzing customers' shopping habits and dietary preferences. So the tool uses Gen AI and machine learning to dynamically suggest relevant products tailored to individual needs, such as gluten-free, vegan, or low-carb diets. And the platform also unveiled AI-powered health tags, providing detailed nutritional information on approximately 500,000 different products. And then the last example I wanted to share with you is by the Open Source AI Foundation. So they launched the 20% project, which is an initiative using open source agentic AI to streamline case reviews for pardons and commutations. So the project will assist in reviewing 160,000 federal cases, reducing the time and complexity involved in processing applications. And the project aims to promote transparency and ethical AI in criminal justice reform, working together with policymakers to accelerate case processing and systemic change. So in summary, companies of all sizes are racing to launch AI-powered innovations, embedding AI into their products and services to boost features, improve performance, and deliver smarter experiences. But the real breakthrough lies in embracing AI-driven innovation, where AI isn't just powering the outcome, it's transforming the entire innovation process, like the examples I just showed. So it's not just about making your product smarter, it's about rethinking how innovation happens, really from the ground up. Which brings us to what we call hyper innovation. It's the type of innovation where businesses aren't just reacting to change, they're actively shaping what comes next. Which brings me to the second poll. So where is your organization currently placing more focus on? Is that on AI-powered innovation? So using AI to enhance products and services? Is it AI-driven innovation? Using AI to transform how we innovate? Is it a mix of both, but still early in the journey, or neither? And are you still assessing the landscape? Again, my colleague will be copy-pasting the poll in the chat any moment now. So where are you currently putting more focus on? Is it AI-powered innovation, AI-driven innovation, a mix of both, or neither? While you answer, I am going to go ahead with our second chapter. So thank you for your answers. In this chapter, we will cover how you can supercharge your AI-driven innovation process with some practical tips. The first tip is moving from using AI as a feature to working with it as a creative partner. Because the real leap isn't just adding AI into your process, it's collaborating with it. Innovation accelerates when AI becomes part of your team's thinking and not just a backend upgrade. It also helps to embed it from the first insight to the final output, considering how it can support different parts of your innovation process. But that's easier said than done, of course, which is why we have developed a new course to add to our Academy program. And you guessed it, it fully revolves around AI-driven innovation. Have a look.
Hello, welcome to TrendWatching's AI-driven innovation course. I'm Quinn, your guide on this journey. I'm an AI avatar created by TrendWatching humans to showcase the possibilities of AI, not just in content creation, but also in hyper-personalized education, as we plan to roll out this course in multiple languages soon. But more on that later. Whether you're a transformation leader, innovator, entrepreneur, a curious person, or because you want to stay ahead of change, you might have questions like,
So that video is a glimpse of what you get with our revamped Academy course. We just launched the first module of our new course on AI-driven innovation to help you supercharge your innovation process with AI. So you can turn consumer trends into actionable innovations that grow and adapt as fast as the world around them. So the course is presented by our very own AI avatar, Quinn, and in less than 4 hours, we'll make sure that you are ready to use AI to act on trends. So the first module about research and insights is live right now. The second module will go live towards the end of this month, and then the prototype and improvement lessons will launch soon after that. Clients with access to the platform automatically get access to our Academy course anyway, but the good news is that you can have a look with a trial account as well, but more on that later. So moving on to our second tip, which is to start with your user and their core problems and not starting with the AI tools, because chasing shiny tech has never worked and it won't work this time either, as evidenced by the plethora of AI flops that have come to market recently. So the tip really here is to anchor your innovation in real human needs. And trends and consumer expectations are a good place to start. Now, I did just tell you not to chase shiny tech, but what if I told you that tech can help you spot and then leverage those expectations? So that is what brings us to Product Lab version 2. So those of you who are familiar with TrendWatching know that we launched a plethora of AI tools not too long ago, but we've given our Product Lab a facelift in which we have connected it to a vast database of industry and audience insight to enrich the innovation output. So as you can see, it will give you an innovation description. In this case, the Loop Life luggage locker. It will notify you of 3 core components, things that consumers can actually touch, feel, and sometimes even taste. But then the additional thing that we added on top of it is backed by reputable sources from reports that are freely accessible online. So for each innovation that is generated, you will find a selection of 3 audience statistics linked to the web pages where you can find these freely accessible reports. And the same thing is true for industry insights as well. So you get the description, the core components, the audience statistics, and the industry statistics as well. And this tool is now freely accessible on our homepage. But then at the same time, if you want the pro version, that of course is then accessible through the platform, which gives you access to all of our trends and not just a short selection. And I also wanted to give you a look at our backend system to see what happens when you push the button, because when you do, you have to wait, I think, around 2 to 3 minutes for it to generate its ideas. So first, what we ask you to do is extract the core content. So we ask you to document the core shift, the consumer expectations, and potential innovation implications for brands. Then we cross-reference that with our reports database. So out of hundreds of reports, it selects the 30 best statistics out there to support the trend related to the generation you've selected. And it then takes those statistics and turns them into actual insights. So an insight is something that you would base your innovation on. And then we basically repeat that same process for the industry. So we cross-reference the trend extraction with our industry report database to extract the 30 best statistics to support the trend. Then after that, we again go into the report processor to turn those statistics into insights. And then if future me will scroll back so I can show you the final 2 steps, because that is where the magic really happens. It is our audience and industry analysis, where we take those insights and then with another layer of prompting, it creates these opportunity platforms, rooms for brands to innovate on. And we do the same thing again for the industry. And then the final prompt, which is our synthesis prompt, is when those final 2 collide. And that's what creates the innovations that I just shared with you. So each generation gives you 3 distinct innovations. So go ahead and play around and see if you like it. Give us feedback. It's of course a work in progress. We're continually updating this, making it even better, adding reports to the database, and much more. So what is next? This was already quite a bit to cover, but as mentioned, we'll be rolling out new modules to our AI-driven innovation course in the next few weeks and months. But this backend system that I just showed you, we also want to make accessible to view for everyone, not just us, so that you have access to a wider variety of trend thinking, industry knowledge, and target group statistics. And furthermore, our campaign crafter and scenario building tools will receive a similar update to Product Lab. So we will be adopting a similar sequence prompting approach to elevate the output of those tools as well. And then, as well, we'll also connect the knowledge base, so those hundreds of reports, to other parts of the platform as well, so that you can personalize and regionalize every piece of trend content that is currently on there, with the ultimate goal of this all happening proactively, so that each time you log on, you have a personalized bite of what's most relevant to you on the platform, but then also already the ideas that you can run with. And the good news is that Product Lab and Academy are already usable right now. So to get access to the pro version of Product Lab and the new Academy course, you can request a free 14-day trial to see how our products can work for you. And clients can, of course, simply log onto the platform and access the tools directly. But if you're not a member yet, you can scan this QR code or follow the link that my colleague is sharing in the chat in a little bit. And if all else fails, or if you have to run right now, you will always and also receive an email with the information about all of this very soon. So no worries. So in just over 20 minutes, we have covered the state of AI, where we're at currently. We've touched on trend-driven innovation and how it can get amplified by AI, AI-powered innovations and AI-driven innovations, how you can supercharge your innovation processes using AI, and I've given you a live demo of our Product Lab tool, and then in addition to that, our new Academy course. It was a shorter one, but I want to give you some time to play around with these tools. So thank you for joining us on this journey. We're excited to continue rolling out new publications, new products, of which we'll update you very soon. Thank you very much, and see you again, I believe even at the end of this month. Thank you.